Hi everyone and welcome back. You'll see I've done a bit of branding for my channel, so welcome to Study, Sip, Save. And I'm really excited to do this video actually because this is going to be my first Budget My Paycheck with me, so you'll get a bit of an insight into how I budget my money. I've only just started using YNAB over the past month, so I haven't had much activity in my YNAB, so that's going to take a couple of months to sort of settle out and get the averages of what I've been spending. So you can see currently what I've assigned, and the activity is actually low because I haven't put my entire paycheck into YNAB yet. So my current monthly paycheck is currently in the ready to assign, which you can see at the top of the screen, but I'm just going to go through a couple of my categories so we can sort of round off the month before, and then we can budget for the rest of the month and then the month ahead. So this should be quite exciting. So let's have a look what we've got. So in my holding, this is just money I had left over from moving around categories. I do have a little bit more that's in a different holding account, but that was set aside to pay for a few things at the end of the month, but you'll see that later, and I'll rearrange all this money as well. So I have money left in my account, and a couple of those things will be assigned to certain things, but some of them are assigned to my categories, my sinking funds, so things like groceries, train, etc. So I'm not going to roll those over. I'm actually going to take those and put them in a separate savings account. So let's go through this. Let's have a look. So firstly, I've got money left inside this online courses subscription. That was supposed to come out yesterday, but I think there was an issue with that, so I have to email them. That hasn't come out of my bank account yet. Bills, this section will be funded by this paycheck for next month, so we'll have a look at that later. My emergency fund you'll see is empty, but I actually don't track that in my budget. It's actually separate, so I put that all into a savings account, and I don't track that in my budget. And people might not agree with this because they follow the YNAB method. I'm just using YNAB for the moment, how it works for me, and that's having my emergency fund completely separate in a savings account. And the reason for this is also because my savings account is something that has a limit to the amount that you can deposit, and if you take any out, then you can't then put any more in for that month. So let's say the limit was £200, which it currently is every month. If I then take out £200, I can't then put £200 back in for that month. And I think this system of having this completely separate from my budget actually works very well, because I need to be quite tight with my budget due to my current take-home pay. So having my emergency fund completely separate really makes it an emergency fund, and it means that I'm not pulling from my savings across the month. So just do whatever works for you. This is what currently works for me, but I'm sure when I have an increased budget and I have increased things to pay for, such as maybe I have a mortgage or things like that, it does make sense then to assign things in your emergency fund to perhaps things within your budget. But I currently don't have any short-term things that, say, a boiler could break because I'm renting. That is the responsibility of my landlord, etc., to fix. But in case I lose my job, that is what my emergency fund is for. And I'm following the flowchart on the UK Personal Finance Reddit, so if you're interested in that, I'll talk a bit about that in a later video. So I'm currently at the stage where I'm saving a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. So I currently have that as one of my targets. So that's why there's nothing in there. Let's go down. my train I have £14.59, and I'm actually going to move this to my holding category because, like I said, this is my sinking funds. I'm not going to roll this over, so I want to put this, all the leftover money, into a separate savings account, which isn't part of my emergency fund, just so I'll gain a little bit of interest, and then if I need to pull from that across the month, then that's something I can do. So let's do that. So that's £0. And I don't think I have anything else. Nothing in here. I'll leave this one in. This is the only one I'm going to leave in. I'm not going to put that into my savings account. But yeah, so I think that's everything. Yep, so that's everything budgeted. You'll actually see where I'm scrolling through now, my gifts section. This is something I haven't had in my budget before when I went through my categories in my last video, and that's because I want to save across the year for all the events where I buy gifts for people, so then I can put money aside each month, and then I don't have to kind of think about budgeting gifts out for people. So that's an extra category I have this month. But let's go back up to the top and let's start budgeting my paycheck out. So I'm first going to cover a little bit of overspending. This was gifts, and this was buying money envelopes to put cash gifts. So I'm going to actually cover this with, should I cover it with my holding category or my paycheck? I think I'm going to cover it with my holding category because I did spend this the month before, and my holding category is just anything left over, so it would make sense to cover it with my holding category. So yeah, let's go back to the beginning. Bills. Yeah, let's go through bills. Okay, so I need £600 for my rent. You'll notice this is lower, and I'm in quite a fortunate position to be able to share a one-bedroom flat with someone. So that is my financial position. However, I have been independent living in London, and I have unfortunately been a lodger, but in the quite fortunate position that I had a very nice landlord who rented out a room in their house to me, so I've been able to keep my expenses quite low, but unfortunately for a lot of people in London that isn't the case. So yeah, my rent is £600, but my salary is also quite low compared to a lot of people in London, and that's because I'm an apprentice. But yeah, that's my rent, so let's assign that. Octopus Energy, these bills actually, I fund half, as I share bills with the person I'm living with. So I'm going to fund half of this. So let's add 70. I know there's a button actually where you can choose to fund half, but I'm not entirely sure where that is. So yeah, I'll put 70. Then this will be 27. I'm terrible with this. 27. I'm actually using a French keyboard right now, so it's a bit difficult. This I fully fund because this is already split, so this is what I send to someone else. So the other person I live with pays the internet, this is what I pay to them. I pay these bills, but they actually send me this remaining money. So that's what happens with that. TV streaming. This is TV streaming that comes out of my account. I do receive half of this from other people, so yeah, if it's something that I pay for out of my bank account, I'm going to fully fund these two because it comes from my parents, so it's a smaller amount, so I can factor that in across the month. Actually, I need to fund this month. I've only just started and I had the free trial. What did I just do? There we go. I have the free trial, so that's going to be up, I think, next month. So I can put that in for next month. Is that all I needed to do? I think yes, that's all I needed to do in bills. Yeah, I always put in £200 into my savings account every month. And yeah, the the target I set for this 1,400 is the remaining balance I need to actually reach the goal of having either a 3, 4, 5 or 6 month emergency fund. So I'm going to have to check that again, but I just put a little target in there so I could see through YNAB how I'm progressing. Extra savings. I usually put 150 to one side that I can pull from during the last couple weeks of the month, just so I don't pull then from my savings. It's like a psychological thing where if it's not in my current account, I won't spend it. So yeah. Alright, and in terms of needs, I am not going to fund any groceries or not funding any groceries, but I will put a little bit in my train and bus fare just because I'm going back to London before the new year, so I will need some for my train fare. So I'm going to put in something like £20, and that should be more than enough for a couple days, say if I use the maximum fare on the tube. My train back to London is already prepaid for, so that's okay. I won't need groceries, I don't think, because I already have some. So yeah, that's all done for this month. I'm going to put in enough money for one coffee and a little bit extra because it's not £4. It's less than £4, but because I have a discount. But yeah, we'll see that. I'll just put that in. That's one coffee between now and New Year, which I might or might not spend. I have a couple free coffee vouchers and I also make a lot at home, so I already have all the coffee pods. As my last grocery haul, I bought a lot of coffee pods, which is why my grocery bill was a bit higher last month. I did buy a lot of those. And I buy them from Lidl or Aldi as well, so they're a lot cheaper than the Nespresso pods. I think it works out one pod to be like 20 pence or something, which is a bit more expensive if you're like using your own beans or using kind of cheaper instant coffee. However, I do like an espresso in my latte, so that's how I make coffee, and it's cheaper, a lot cheaper than buying coffee outside. So that's my reasoning. If I don't spend a little bit on coffee pods, then I'm going to spend more by going out and buying coffee. So that's why I put a little bit aside for coffee pods. Dining out, I'm not going to be dining out. Homeware, there's something I want to buy, which is a potato ricer, actually, to do really nice, smooth mashed potato. So I'm going to put £7 in that. Sort of a random purchase. But yeah, I want to make some more mashed potato, and I'm really frustrated with mashing it and there being lumps, and I don't have enough energy to be standing there for a long time mashing stuff. Yeah, so I'm going to put that in there. I don't think I need anything in these other two categories, nails or clothes, so that's that. Birthday treat, that's staying how it is. That's got £11 left in it to buy coffee or a cake for someone. Christmas, there is one thing I need to get for Christmas, and that's just a gift for someone in my family, and I think that's all I need. So that's Christmas actually fully funded. How do I snoozing as always, there we go, snooze, and that's Christmas 2024, all done, all budgeted for. All of the gifts I've bought, apart from oh yeah, here, keyboard tip, pressed Shift Z to snooze categories target, so that's great. Then I want to, as I said in the beginning of the video, I want to start actually funding for gifts throughout the year. So that's birthdays, graduations, the next Christmas. So I'm actually going to select all of these and fund it for this month. Let's have a look. So that's actually £100, and that seems like a lot of money. But I've set these targets a little bit higher than I would usually, just so I can buy a gift, and then any remaining money can then roll over, or I can reassign. So yes, let's fund this. I was just thinking, actually, it might seem a little bit high, but for probably a lot of people it doesn't seem that high. But in terms of my paycheck and what I get each month, it probably is a little bit high in terms of my budget, but maybe in terms of other people who have a little bit more disposable income, it's not that big of a deal. But obviously this is my personal budget. So yeah, and that's all done. And the next thing, most important thing I need to do is go to the next month. So I need to go to January because I need to budget for some bills that will come out the next month before I get my next paycheck. So I get paid usually at the end of the month. So there's a couple days where I have a buffer where a couple of my bills will come out as soon as I get my paycheck, but a couple of my bills will come out in kind of the middle of my paycheck or a week before I get my next one. So it's important that I budget for the next month using the stuff I have. So let's see. Yeah, I need to fully fund all of these. So that's my phone. This is Spotify. I'm on a family plan, so I just send that to other people. And this is my cloud storage. So let's fund all of these. So that means I think I'm all fully funded apart from this, which I believe, I'm trying to think, I think this is, I think it's £87. Council tax is very expensive. So yeah, I currently have that. Now let's take this and let's budget the rest of this. So actually I'm already budgeted for this month, so let's go back to January. So crazy that it's already January. Yeah, so already done this. Oh, let's actually, I'm going to take it out of this month because it doesn't make sense to put it in this month because it comes out on the 1st of the month. So let's put it back into ready to assign and put it in this month. Add 200. And then let's put this to July. Save. There we go. Because I can only put £200 in each month. Let's do that. Then I want to put in bills is done. Savings is done. Extra savings. Do I want to move this? I'm going to move £32 into my extra savings. Where's my extra savings? Right, £32. I always have money in my holding, but we'll see where that is. Needs, wants. Let's budget this. Right, the most important thing is my train. I don't think this will be £200 this month, in January, sorry, just because my team are planning not to come in to the office for the first week or two. We're working remotely. So that's going to shave off a bit of my budget, but it's always important to put that in anyway. 220. Okay. Let's actually take £20 out just so I can make that to 200. Actually, no, I'll leave that in just in case. I think, oh yeah, that £20 for the rest of last month. Groceries. I don't think £200 is... I need 200. I usually spend between £20 to £30 a week. So if this is a 5-week paycheck, I don't need to bother about the 5-week paycheck. I need to bother about the rest of the month. So say 4 weeks in January. Let's put in 120. Oh, I've done it again. 120 in groceries. And can I then snooze this? I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't let me snooze it, but I'll just leave it like that. Toiletries. I'll probably need to buy some more shampoo and some more body wash. So let's put in 20. So you'll see I haven't actually got that much left, which is funny. Haircut. I think it would be sensible for me to put money in haircut. It's been quite a while since I've had a haircut, and when I say quite a while, it's been months. And I think I just need a refresh. So that's probably a sensible thing to do. Yeah, I don't want to... This I'll fund... Let me just make a note, because I just funded all the gifts. And so I need to make a note that this comes out of my... this month's paycheck. I'm typing very slow because I don't have a QWERTY keyboard, so it's a bit difficult for me to get used to this computer again. Yeah, this month's paycheck. So, because this is December's paycheck, I used it to fund the other one. So the one I get at the end of this month will then fund all of these gift categories. So I'm just going to close this until I get my paycheck at the end of the month. So I've got £54.56 left, and I'll probably assign some money for eating out because, and I think this is this is my reasoning, I think on the days where I don't assign things to this, I kind of feel guilty about spending money here, and I don't think that should be the case. But also, I need to assign enough in groceries so I don't spend money in this category. So I do prioritise groceries over this section, but it's always nice to just have a little bit in there. Yeah, let's check everything, expand everything. I could just put this in my holding, but we shall have a look where I can put it. Yeah, I'm not going to invest because I'm not in the financial position of having enough discretional income or disposable income to invest at the moment. Should I just put some more in groceries? That seems the most... I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put $4.56 in here. I know people don't like random numbers, so I'm going to put, I think, another £20 in here. And this can always move over the month, so we shall see what that looks like. Yeah, that looks good, I think. Yeah, and for anyone watching, I have my pension contributions automatically come out of my paycheck and go in, so I don't factor those into my budget either, because I will not be taking that money out until I retire. That's just, at the moment, that's what I'm thinking. I think that's the the sensible option if you're from the UK at the moment. Obviously that could change at any time in the future, but at the moment that's what I'm doing. I do track that. It's not good to track it all the time because it's an investment. You're not gonna want to be tracking every single day because it's a long-term investment, but it's just sometimes nice to see what's in there. So I do track that as an asset, not as an investment, just because in YNAB I don't want that to interfere with my budget because it goes out from my paycheck before I even see it. So yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment, but I think we're all fully funded. Let me just double check. Bills all done. These bills will be funded by the paycheck that I get at the end of the month. Emergency fund done. Extra savings, this is what was left over from last month. Investments, nothing. Good. £140 in groceries. If I need to top that up, I will top that up. That's completely fine. £220 in train and bus fare. I might not spend all of this. I might spend all of this. This is okay. If I don't, I can move that around as well. Toiletries. Haircut. I think I might need to put more in this. The reason why I set £50 is because I'm down at my parents' and it's actually cheaper to get my haircut down here, but since I'm going back up to London because I accidentally didn't book early enough, so it's all booked up, I might have to put a little bit more in that. I'm due for some refunds actually from several different things, so I have more money coming my way in the middle of the month, which I'll do a video on as well of how I will budget that back out. But yeah, I might assign it to my haircut because it will definitely cost me more than £50 to get my haircut in London. So yeah, coffee £4. Oh, yes, that makes sense. I assigned £4 last month, but I didn't assign any for this month. So I think it makes sense to put a little bit from here into coffee, because I know it's realistic that I'll have one or two. So let's move 60, or should I just round it up to 20? No, let's do 60. Okay. Groceries are done. Train's done. Toiletries done. Haircut. Coffee. Dining out is done. Homeware. I don't think I'll need any more from homeware, but like I said, if I do, I'll rejig my budget around. That's done. Christmas is funded from last month, and all of these will be funded with my next paycheck that I get at the end of the month. And I'm not putting any money in Wish Farm because that's not my priority at the moment. But yeah, that's everything, I would say. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.